Okay, here's why your jiu-jitsu sucks. Okay, but actually this video is going to be about things that are holding your jiu-jitsu back and reasons why I think that people aren't progressing as fast as they should. If you're new here, which probably most of you are, my name is Amanda Bruce. I'm a black belt under Andre Galvao, and I also got my black belt in like 6 years. So I think I have a pretty good idea of the things that you need to focus on in order to progress faster. I won't make this video too long, but I do want to go a little bit more into depth about these topics. I talked about this on my Instagram, which I will also link down below in a really short reel, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth on these specific topics. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Number one, and I think this is the most important thing, you're training without any intention. So I think most of us go in and we drill what we're being taught that day. So we do the move of the day, and then we get to sparring, and then we just kind of roll however. We do whatever we feel like doing. We play our A game. We don't really want to lose rounds either, so we're not really taking risks or focusing on our weaknesses. We're kind of going in without any type of goal. So this is a problem, because if you're just going in and you're playing your A game, that's the only thing you're going to be good at. You're not going to be taking risks and exploring and working on new things. This is probably the number one thing that is going to make your jiu-jitsu stagnant. So you have to remove the mentality of wanting to win every single round. That's number one. There are times, of course, say you're doing a competition class and you're preparing for worlds. You're going to want to go in and you're going to want to win every single exchange, and you're not going to want to lose rounds. However, if you are just talking about general training and over the long term, you do want to take risks and explore new parts of your game. So we don't need to be winning every round. We need to actually be focusing on our weaknesses, getting to positions that are bad, working out of those positions. We need to be trying new things, new sequences. We need to be working our bad side guard once we're good on this side. So all of these things are really important. This is why I say this is the most important thing. And then as far as goals go, I personally think you should go in with some type of goal each class. I think the goal can be something that you're working on that month, that week, that day. It can be really anything that you want, but you should have some type of goal when you go in that you're focusing on at that class. Here's an example. I'm a closed guard player. Pretty much all I do is guard people up, and then I go for arm bars. It works like 90% of the time, so I don't really stray from that, right? So for this month, I'm gonna stay away from my A game, and I'm gonna make it my goal to open up and play spider lasso guard. Every single time I get in closed guard, I'm gonna tell myself, okay, my goal is to work out of this position safely, get to a new type of guard, and I really wanna start working spider lasso, or I really wanna start working collar sleeve guard. And every single roll, I wanna be able to get there, and I wanna sweep and get on top with that position. Okay, that's a very specific goal. You could also say, hey, I really want to develop just my bad side guard, right? This whole month, I want to play guard on my left side. I always play on my right side. I want to play on my left side. I want to make sure that if I get put there, I'm doing really well and I'm able to kind of fire off the same moves. I think it's better if you can work on a goal for at least a week, giving yourself feedback and writing down problems and solutions and drills and new things that you can implement to make something work. That type of thing works better when you can break down a position for at least a week or more. You could have multiple goals going on at the same time, but having a couple solid goals in the same month and then moving on, but really digging deep and analyzing that thing you're working on, I think is something that will take your jiu-jitsu from 0 to 100 extremely quickly. Another thing that goes into goals is also, I think, positional. So I think that you're gonna get a lot better if you're doing more positional than you are just free sparring. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Like when you're doing positional, you're gonna be able to work through that move or maybe hit that 1 or 2 moves that you've really been working probably 10 plus times in that positional training, versus if you're doing it and trying to do that same move in normal sparring, it might take you all round or maybe 3 rounds to even hit it once. I would even say that a lot of your positional training shouldn't be at 100%. It should be hard, but you're still almost allowed to do the movement just with resistance and live counters. And speaking of that, that brings me to point number 2, which is that you're drilling really lazy or you're drilling wrong. So the way that I try to drill is emulating what wrestlers do. If you've ever been in a wrestling room, you know that most of the drills are like almost live. You're doing the move, but they're giving you resistance and you're working the whole time. It's not like you're ever gonna do something that's just like, yeah, here's my leg, oh, here's my arm, I'm just gonna dead fish. Like, that is not the case at all. Everything has some type of live reaction. This doesn't mean that I'm not letting you do the move, but it means that I'm giving you reads, I'm giving you reaction, I'm giving you tension, and I'm making you work. Once you start getting used to the moves and working on this semi kind of positional drilling, you should be doing it in the same intensity that you're gonna do it when you do it live. That's how it's actually gonna happen, and that's how you're gonna get your body to just do it automatically. It needs to be with intensity, it needs to be with intention, it needs to be with live reactions, it needs to be focused. Drilling shouldn't be lackadaisical. Okay, and this brings me to number 3, which I think is a really unique and important one. You don't analyze your own jiu-jitsu. Analyzing your own jiu-jitsu could mean that you're filming your rolls or your competition footage and you're reviewing those so that you can actually see what you're doing and you can pick up on details that you're obviously not going to remember, and you can go back and watch it, and then you can also compare footage and see what you're getting better at, and I think it's just really, really important. Other ways of analyzing your own jiu-jitsu, this could be keeping a journal. So this is what I do. I try to keep a set notepad or a set journal either on my phone or physical or both, and I try to focus on writing down problems, things that are going well, things I want to work, just pretty much like a jiu-jitsu diary, and I keep that with me at training because I'm not going to remember what I want to write down if I go home and then try to write it down. I'll ask people, hey, how was my pressure here? What do you think I need to work on in this position? Is there anything you feel that I'm doing that you feel like I need to work on? The most important thing when you're taking notes and you're analyzing feedback, you're analyzing your own roles, actually implement that back into step 1. You have to create a feedback loop. It's all fine and dandy to go and write down notes, hey, this didn't work today, but what are you gonna do with that information? You're gonna have to put that back into the goals that you're working on so that you can actually progress and fix those problems. Okay, so as a review, is 1, go in with goals and intentions. 2, drill properly. 3, study and analyze your own jiu-jitsu. So that's kind of what I had for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments down below on anything you think is important, I would love to hear. Bye guys.